Cowbunger, dude.
Glass.
Glass.
Headlight restoration. Why do we do it and how? Once upon a time, headlights were not made of plastic. They were glass, and we never had this problem. Most cars or manufacturers moved into using polycarbonate or clear plastic lenses on their headlights. Probably made it a lot easier to produce varying shapes, but with that came the problem that the lights, after some period of time, thanks to the dear old sun, developed some UV issues, and the protectant on top of the plastic would fade and discolor, and you get that yellowing or haziness in your headlights. Most people don't really pay attention to it or care about it, but when it comes to the quality of your headlights at night, they are affected, and then also it looks pretty tardy or raggedy when it comes to selling the car. What has happened is we have learned how to restore those headlights. Now, there are literally hundreds of methods out there on how to do it, or how people tell you to do it, and they'll say you're doing it wrong and you're using the wrong paper and this and this and this. But ultimately, it's all the same as long as you do a couple of key things. You need to sand back the UV damage and sand back through the UV coating that's on the headlights. You don't go and use compound and polishes on top of the problem. That's only going to create more of a problem down the track, and you'll get yellowing even faster. And then through a process of multiple sanding and cutting compounds and paint, clear coats, we can get the lights looking as good as new. You can do this with dry sandpaper using P4500 through to 800 or even 1000, or you can do it as a wet treatment, putting some water on the headlight and using your sandpaper, proper wet and dry sandpaper, to get back down to that layer. I use a bit of both. I use dry sanding initially with the heavy grits, and then as I get down to the finer sandpaper, I use wet and dry with water. I just find that helps me, I don't know, it's just how I like to do it. We are selling this Subaru. We're trying to get premium dollars for it, so it's not looking pretty when the lights are all cloudy and got that yellowing and sort of peeling going on the headlights. So we're going to do this car today. I've already done this side. I haven't painted this yet, so we will do that later on. But we're going to start on the other side. Let's get rolling. Let's see how it looks. Here's my collection. We've got our varying degrees of sandpaper. We've got our drill here. If you want to use a drill to do your sanding with a sanding pad on the front, go ahead. I'm not a fan of that because I find it's just a little too small and too hard to control, and you can easily burn your plastics. We've got a small mini polisher from Ryobi there. That's going to be used in conjunction with some super cutting compound. If you wanted to use the power tools, you've got these kind of Velcro stick-on sanding pads. And then, we need some tape to tape the headlights up first. You can try these kind of pads. I can't remember what they call them, but I'm not a big fan of it. I tried it the other day and it's a little bit too harsh for the plastic. Foam polishing pads, squishy sanding block that can help shape to the shape of the lights. Once we're happy, we're going to tape it up with some paper and tape around the headlight. Then we mix up our 2-part 2K clear and spray the headlights. A bit of water if we need it to do the sanding. It's not complicated. It's a process you must go through. The lights will look worse before they look better, so don't be afraid when they look like this. So we've got that taped up. Let's begin. Just start rubbing, guys and girls. Don't be scared. And then remember, it will look horrible. You just need a cloth, wipe it, and if you want to be a little more pedantic, metho, white spirits. It's a cleaner. How you clean your glass anyway if you don't want to spend money on stupid cleaners. Alright, but at this stage I shouldn't really need that. So I want to go until the shine no longer is visible through the haze. So you can see here, it's still shiny. I don't know if you can see that, compared to this. So that's still got its UV coating on it. So we're going to get through that. the edges here. These lights have never been done. According to the owner, it's a one owner car. Okay, my sanding pad's still not too bad. I'm going to take it off the block and use my fingers to get into the edges here. Because I'm still going to paint it, I want a little bit of scouring. That's nice, I like that. Get down the bottom here. So what happens is the stuff facing the sun mostly will get deteriorated first and it'll work its way down. You end up with sort of a line sometimes. You've got to get past that line. You've got to take it down through that to the headlight proper. As I said, these weren't too bad. Still a little bit of stuff coming off here. Next phase, that looks nice and evenly sanded. I've wiped it down with some metho or window cleaner. Now we're going for P800. I'm not too scared to do the swirling, sort of breaks up any lines you leave in it. There will be fine scratches left over. So that's just chewed out straight away. Let's fold it up and get these corners again. I'm just trying to etch it with the sandpaper so we get some adhesion. Done. One hit, one square. It's like a magic trick, this. You look at that and you think that's never going to clear up, and then suddenly it does. Now that'll probably buff up pretty good with some compound, but I'm going to go further. Let's go 1200. I might put some water on it. And there's going to be know-alls out there that tell me that this is wrong or something's wrong, but again, there is no definitive way of doing this as long as we don't damage the headlight, as long as we get it looking clear, and as long as we coat it. Whatever style of sandpapering you do, that's up to you. There's a few little scratches there, but you'll see. Done. Not. Have a look close up. So it still looks cloudy. So what we're going to do now is take our super cutting compound and we're going to give that a buff, and then I'll use the same compound with a finishing pad and then we will clear coat it. This is where we use our mini polisher, a cutting pad and some cutting compound. We're going to dab it on, bring you closer here, and we start slow at first, so we go on low speed and just little squeezes. Don't leave this in one spot too long. You will tarnish or burn your plastic, so you've got to keep it moving. Keep the speed down so you don't get too hot. The edge of this, be careful, digs into your paint. More compound. here. Paper time. Don't put that bit up there. But yeah, now we're going to tape it up. And if you want to be really anal, cover the whole car, but we're just painting this section. So I'm going to put a strip of paper around here on both sides, and we'll go to it. Got my 2K can. I've got our hardener at the bottom, got the red tab, put it on, punch it, you'll feel it pop in and out. That means the hardener's been released. Shake it again for 2 minutes, then apply. Wait for about 10 minutes between coats and do it again. And the first coat will act like a glue to the second coat. I'll just bang that on the concrete, bang, 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 it moves now. Shake it for 2 minutes and then apply it. Should really use a tack cloth, I'm not sure I've got one. Tack cloth, a little bit of a rub. Nice and slow. Wind, not good. Nice as well. It's a little bit windy for my liking. First coat light, looks pretty good. It looks foggy in a few places, but that will clear up as it dries. 5 to 10 minutes, probably 10 minutes between coats. I'm going to have to shut the door again in order to paint it, I think, because it's just blowing through too quickly. Oh, all right. Looks good. We'll let that dry, give it a couple of hours, and we'll take the tape off, and then we'll have another look.
This Forester is certainly coming together. Next episode, the full detail. Find it, buy it, fix it, flip it, have some fun along the way, and remember, rush. And we'll catch you next time on Flip My Ride. If you want to help the channel, donate via PayPal and the link. See ya.